Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is how to turn your phone into a webcam, a second webcam, so that if your client needs to see a little bit closer, more closely what you're doing, like I made this little guy the other day, and so anyway, if you want a view from over top, you can use your phone to do that. So if you have an iPhone, you have a couple options, more so than if you have an Android. So the iPhone, you can share the screen. So this lovely green button down here in the middle is the share screen button. And here, I'm going to go ahead and admit my iPad in here. All right, so with the iPhone, you can either have it directly connected to your computer with your charging cable, or if you don't have your cable on you, you can use the AirPlay. So the AirPlay, you're gonna definitely want to have your phone charged if your battery tends to drain fast. So let's see. All right. So with the AirPlay, you double click, and then on your phone, you first want to make sure that you're connected to the same internet that your computer is connected to, or your tablet, or whichever one you're on. Although I don't know, I'll have to see if I can share it from my tablet. All right, so I am connected to the same internet, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe up. Newer models, you have to swipe down. You want to get to this screen, this menu. The screen mirroring button is this guy right here with the two little rectangles. I'm going to tap it, and then choose your computer if you're on your computer. And then you can see my phone screen. And what you want to do then is to go into your camera, and your camera becomes a webcam. I'm going to change the orientation. I think I have it locked. Here we go. There we go. All right. So back to camera. All right. And I use a little light here that I put my camera on. You can put a box next to wherever you're working if you want to, and just weigh down the phone so that the camera is off the edge of it. So I'm going to put mine here, and it's lagging a bit, which it hasn't been an issue until I tried doing these videos, so it may not be the best option. But this is one way that you can use it as a webcam. Let's see if that's catching up. Okay, so I don't know if it's because I'm too far away from my internet or what, but let's see. Yeah, so this is lagging a lot. So this, as far as we can tell, you can't do screen share this easily with an Android phone. But the other option is to just go ahead and directly invite yourself on your phone if you have the Zoom app. So to do that, and to invite anyone to a meeting that you're already in, you would click on the invite button, which is down here on the right. And then if you want, you can send an email. For me, the default email doesn't work. It doesn't go to my Outlook for some reason, but it does work through Gmail for me. You can also just copy the invitation or copy the URL. And for the URL, it should just be a one-click access. So you can click on that, and then I've already got my messages open here. But you could also do it in Facebook or whatever way you have to send yourself a link. So I'm going to go ahead and send that, and then click on it in my phone. And sometimes you have to actually put in the meeting ID and the password. I didn't have to this time, so that's lovely. And if you do need to put in the meeting ID and the password, the meeting ID is up here at the top of this window, and then the password is down at the bottom right of this window. So you can close that. And normally you would, so I'm going to go ahead and admit myself. And normally your clients would want to join with audio, so they're going to get this menu option come up that says call using internet audio, dial in, or cancel. They can do either of the first two options to get audio, but I'm going to cancel it so that I don't get any feedback with the microphone. Okay, so that's how you make your phone into a webcam, because now I've got my iPhone on here, and this works the same way with an Android. You can use either camera, and then so to make a video bigger, you click on it and click pin video, and it brings it up. So same thing, you can change the orientation, and as you can see, it's lagging a lot less, so it's a lot more real time if you just invite yourself. But for this one, the zoom in does not work. I can't zoom in on that. So it'd just be a kind of a wider view. I'm sorry, I'm blinding you up there with that one. But yep, you can just do whatever you're doing down here, and your clients can see a little bit easier what it is that you're doing, so you don't have to worry about holding it up to the camera. So there's that. Let me get that light out of the way. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is show you how to share different types of documents or websites and show how your clients can access them and annotate and all that kind of thing. So the easiest one to do is, here, let me change this. There we go. All right. So the easiest one to do is annotate in the whiteboard. So you're going to always go to the share screen button down here, the green one. Click on that. And then anything that you have open in your desktop will come up if you're on a computer. And I have to double check on my iPad what that looks like when I share from there. But the whiteboard is going to always be available. And as soon as you bring it up, the annotate feature is activated on both the iPad, iPhone, Android, and on your computer. So on my computer, I can draw right away. You can choose different, you can do a text, you can draw different shapes. If you click on draw, it brings up different options. Same for stamps and all that kind of thing. The spotlight is just like a laser pointer. You've got an arrow, eraser, different colors, widths, all that kind of thing. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like on my phone. So let's see. Okay, so let's see if you can see my, oh, that's my iPhone, that's why. Here we go. So I'm going to pin my computer video, make that bigger so you can see it. All right, so here's what the whiteboard looks like on my phone. Again, you can turn it to change the orientation. And see, I haven't done anything yet. So when it just opens up, I can't draw. You have to tap, and then this little pen pencil thing comes up, and that's the annotate feature. You can choose different options again, and then if you need to move this around, you can click and drag it. So that lets you draw right on there. And it looks extremely similar in the iPad. And you have to, let's see. All right, so Here's my iPad, and my phone camera is not that great, so sorry for the poor quality on that. Okay, so same thing with the iPad. When it comes up, you can't draw initially, but if you tap the screen, the little pencil comes up. You can tap on it and you get all the different options, and then you can draw right on there. So that's the whiteboard and the annotate feature. So the nice thing about annotate is that it works on anything that you share on your computer. So anything that you're sharing in the Zoom meeting, you should be able to write on. So I'm going to open up let's see, I don't have, so again, you have to have it open if you want to share it. So I'll show you a website first. Okay, so here's the handwriting without tears. You can open it up to the page and just draw directly on here. So to draw on your computer, you would need to click on the annotate, which is the little pencil up here, and then pick whatever you want, and then you can draw right on the screen. So you can show the kids in real time how to do it. And again on, let's see, so on the iPad, same thing. See the website, tap to bring up the annotate, and then you can draw right on it. And same thing with the iPhone and Android phones as well. It works the same way. See the website, tap, got your little pen, and then you can draw right on there and it'll show up. Okay, let's see if I have any. All right, so here is, oops. So I need to stop sharing and then bring up whatever document you want to use. Got a dot to dot here. So you want to make sure that you are zoomed in exactly how you want it to look on the screen, because once you open it, it's going to be a little bit harder to kind of zoom in and put it where you want it. So let's see. Okay. Anyhow, then you go to same thing again. Share screen down at the bottom with the green button. Then since it's open now, it'll come up on your options. And then exact same thing, can click annotate and color right in there. Same thing, tap, pen, and draw. iPhone, iPad, same thing, tap, pen, and draw. So I'm going to show you the websites again, because giving access to somebody is a little bit different on each device. So here, let me change this camera so it's the better one. All right. So I'm going to share the website again. So here is the handwriting without tears. And you cannot give them, so here is the button for giving somebody else access. It looks like a little mouse icon. It says remote control up near the share button. So you're going to click that. And if you're able, so this button will not appear if you're not able to give your client control. So if it's there, then you are able to. It works for Android phones, some Android phones at least, and iPads. It does not work with Chromebooks, so there's a whole other way to do that, and that's a whole separate video. But so here I'm able to give control to my iPad, and when I do that, this little button comes up. It just says to tap to control. So you're going to tap, And when you do give control, anything in the window that's up, your client will have control over. So they could switch websites if it's up there. So you want to make sure that if you don't want them to be able to do that, you only have whatever you want them to control opened in there. All right, so with the handwriting without tears, here, so you can't move the website or zoom in when you have control of the mouse. You have to do that on your computer. So on my computer now, I'm gonna kind of move that around to what I want them to see. And then, so with handwriting without tears, the wooden pieces video actually does not work for controlling the mouse. So I'll show you this real quick.
Let's make the letter E.
Big line, little line, little line, little line. Now it's your turn.
Okay, so again, you can zoom in if you want it to be a little bit easier for your client to see, especially if they're on their phone, just so it's a little bit bigger. But again, for giving control, you're able to click on the wooden pieces, but it does not let you drag. And for some reason, that just seems to be this one. So if you are using the handwriting without tears, you can either just annotate directly on the page, or you can also pull up the video for formation and have them annotate on there and do it that way. So the nice thing is, though, that some websites do let you control things. So this Sesame Street game, for example, I'm able to click and it pulls it up, and then I have to drag the mouse icon to where I want it, and then tap again to put it down. So click or tap and then drag. If you touch anywhere else, it doesn't let you drag. You have to drag the mouse icon and then tap. So some sites work and some don't. You just kind of have to play around with it to see which ones do and which ones don't. And let's see. Again, you can use the spinners. That'll give, when you give control, you can have your kid do the spinner. Okay, or if you're doing it on the phone, you can kind of time it so that if you count to 3 and then have the kid kind of touch the screen, then it'll seem like they're doing the spinner. So those are a couple options for that. And yep, I think that is everything. So let's see. And then your client can also share the screen. Let me see if I can share my screen in the iPad. So I'm going to stop sharing here. All right, so in my iPad, here, let me, all right, so here's my iPad. Click, and it gives you a bunch of options up at the top. You can share content. So this was the same thing as that green share button on the computer. And then you have a bunch of different options here. So it's a little bit different than the computer. But whatever you have open, or you can go into your drives, just have whatever you want to share already open, and you'll be able to access it through that. And then just so you can see how to switch to gallery view, if you have multiple people in the meeting, like a student, or if it's a co-treat, you can click on here to do a gallery view. And then on the phone, at least with the iPhones, how it works is you swipe to get the gallery view, so that way you can see everyone. All right, so I think that is just about everything. And if you have any questions, let me know.